Hello and welcome everybody. We're taking a look at another Sigma lens on this edition, and as you know, as usual, we've got Mr. Adil Guzder who's given us some time to take a look at another Sigma product. So, what is different about the product we're taking a look at today?
See, Sean, the difference is that first of all, this lens 18 to 35 f1.8 is a DC lens.
Okay.
Means it's meant for a crop sensor.
Okay. How is that different from the others?
The other lenses which Sigma make are the DG lenses.
Okay.
So the DG series is suitable for both, for full frame as well as crop sensor.
Okay.
This is specially made for the crop sensor. It's a first time in the world a zoom lens at f1.8. It's the fastest zoom lens that is ever made in the world. And basically, the forte of this lens is to have videos in low light condition. That is what the speciality of this lens is.
Okay, so we'll get into all of that, sir. But first, let's get into the unboxing as usual, like we always do.
So we have, as usual, we have the warranty. This is the terms and conditions of the warranty, and this is your manual.
Right.
And now we have the Sigma lens, the 18 to 35.
You said this is a world's first.
Yes, the world's first zoom.
The world's first zoom at f1.
At f1.8.
At f1.8. Now, why is that so significant?
Because a lens of this type was never made before with this f-stop.
Okay.
The f1.8 throughout the range. That means it'll be at f1.8 at 18, 20, 24, 28 and 35. Now, what happens is this lens has the same build quality of the art lenses as usual.
Okay.
Chromatic aberration, color aberration, all this is controlled with Sigma's unique coating. This lens was made specifically for crop sensors because normally wedding and events photographers wanted a fast lens to do their videos during the events and during the weddings.
Okay.
So this is the lens for that specifically.
Okay.
You could also use this lens during low light conditions to shoot landscapes, seascapes.
Okay. But what would you say is the perfect, the ideal use for this lens?
videos?
For videos.
For videos.
Right.
For events with low lights and all that.
Okay.
This is the ideal lens for this.
Okay, so the kind of clarity that you'll get through. Now,
Amazing.
Now, till now, the lenses that we've taken a look at on the show so far have been prime lenses.
Yes.
Now
This is the world's first zoom.
Yeah, so this and you were telling me off camera, this sort of negates the
It's the
need
same
to carry a whole bunch of lenses.
Yes. So what happens is this takes a focal length of say 27.2 mm to 50.5 mm. It's equivalent. The range is equivalent to that. Now in that range, instead of carrying a say 20, a 24, a 35, and a 50 mm, I'd rather carry this. It is slightly slower than the prime, which are at 1.4, but I mean, in the profession that we are, I mean, we can easily take care of that.
So, what else does this bring to the table?
See, I'll tell you. Now, regarding this lens, the speciality of this lens is it has a closest focusing distance, Shyam, of 28 centimeters.
Okay.
And the ratio is 1:4.3. In that translates for everyone that you can really go close and it becomes a kind of a macro lens. It's not exactly a macro lens, but there is a magnification ratio. So I mean, you could magnify it about a quarter size. Normally, a lens of this would not go and focus that close.
Okay.
So 28 centimeters, it will focus. It's that close.
Okay.
That is the speciality of this lens.
Wow.
And one more thing to this, which I would like to add, Shyam, is that this is an internal focusing lens. By internal focusing, I mean when I'm moving the focusing ring, say from 18 to 35, the lens doesn't move. And now when I turn the focusing ring, normally this would move. The front element, it doesn't move.
Okay.
I mean, I could break this down for you. Is that it just doesn't move? See, it doesn't move. Nothing moves.
So all the movement is happening on the inside.
And that is the beauty of this lens.
Okay. Now, aside from that, give us a little idea of where best we can push this lens.
Okay. Now this lens could be used as it's 35, 28. We can use this lens easily for street photography as well,
Okay.
especially in low light.
Okay. So especially in low light. Yeah.
This is very useful for that. It's also very useful by photojournalists who require, without a flash, they require to use this because it's a f1.8.
But tell me something. In something like a low light condition.
Right.
And if you go handheld in a low light,
Right.
that usually spells disaster
Yes.
in a lot of situations because
Exactly.
any form of slight jerk is magnified that much more with the slightest shake.
So we could do one thing with this lens. See, what could be done with this lens is, since it's at f1.8, say we shoot at f2 or f2.8. What does that translate into? It translates into a higher shutter speed. What prevents your camera shake is a higher shutter speed.
Okay.
And that can be done easily with this without a flash.
Okay.
And that's what mostly photojournalists want, especially investigative photojournalists who don't want their